Hey there, my name is Chris Acton with Acting Creative, and this is A Handwoven Experience, episode 89. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about using the entire width of your loom. See, I had a lovely person on YouTube ask about this exact topic, and I thought, let's dive into that just a little bit. So, first of all, you should definitely use the entire width of your loom. Maybe not for all the projects, but at least for a few. It is a lot of fun. There's a couple things to watch out for though as you are filling the entire loom. First of all, at the reed. So let's talk about the reed. So I have a 36-inch wide loom, thus I have a 36-inch reed, right? Well, when you actually measure the reed, it's a little longer than that. There's a few extra dents to go with. So as you are planning your project, make sure you're comfortable with whatever reed you're going to use and that is actually the width that you are expecting. So I don't want you to be surprised by that as you are putting your project into the reed and you're like, wait, I have extras left over or I don't have enough. So double check your reed as you're going to fill your entire width. Next up, let's talk about the heddles. As you are threading the heddles in your project, the goal is always to have your yarns move straight from the front to the back of the loom. Now, little sidebar. I have extra heddles on my loom and I just leave them there. You can take them off. It's a little bit cumbersome, but you can also just leave them like I do. However, if you are going to use the entire width of your loom and you have extras, you don't want your yarn, your warp yarns, to actually have to like bow around it so they don't go straight. Do you know what I mean? Because if you have, an inch of extra heddles here, your yarns aren't going to go straight from the front to the back. And that's a problem. But there's a really easy fix for this. As you're getting closer to the end and you see you have extras, just start to work them into the project, like empty ones. So, for instance, as I'm getting closer to the end, I'm pulling my warp yarn through. I'm just gonna move this guy over and leave it empty, and I'm gonna thread the next one. So I'm working in the extra heddles into the project as I go, so that even the warp yarn at the very end is still gonna move straight through the loom. I hope that makes sense, because that's a really easy trick, but one that will come in very handy as you use the entire width of your loom. And lastly, as you are winding everything onto your loom, just watch your edges. For instance, like I said, 36-inch loom, I like to use yardsticks for mine. Watch that your project stays on whatever you're using, paper, sticks, whatever you use at the back of your loom to keep your tension even and make sure that everything is winding on nice and smoothly. Watch your edges because we don't want the project to be falling off. That is gonna that's gonna mess with your tension, and we don't want that. Good tension is always what we are after. So as you're winding on, just watch the edges and make sure that your project is pushed onto the sticks or paper or whatever you use, and make sure those last few at the end are all behaving. So that's it. Those are my tips for you. Watch the width of your reed. Take a look at your heddles as you get towards the end of your projects, and watch that your project is staying well on your paper or sticks or whatever you use to wind on at your loom. Just keep those guys in mind and it'll be no problem. And it's a lot of fun to use the entire width. I promise it makes for a nice, wide, luscious project. You'll love it. All right, friends. Good luck with whatever you're working on today and this week. Have a great one. Happy weaving.